Welcome to Sipping with Maria and Tika G. We got to pay these bills, so let go. Here's a word from our sponsors. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosted on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free.
Whoop whoop!
Boop! Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started
Today. Hey, welcome to Sipping with Maria and Tika G, where we do not talk about politics, religion, or celebrities. We feel that there are enough blogs, vlogs, and other podcasts that talk about that stuff. This season one, we're talking about relationships. We picked this title because it's something everyone can relate to. We're not just talking about couples. We're talking about all types of relationships. The parent-child relationship, the in-law relationship, the brother and sister's relationship. The list goes on and on and on. Now, if you've been listening to the show, you know that all our topics have been questions. And the answers that we have been getting have been the bomb. Now, sit back, listen to us, Tika and Maria G. I'm sitting back sipping on my Moscato. What you sipping on, Tika?
Right now, I'm doing the same thing that I had last week. The Malvasia. I had look. I had about 3 bottles. So
3 bottles. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing a repeat again. I'm sipping.
Well, you know how I do. I do the box. I do the box. So before we get into the show, I want to talk about 2 things. I want to acknowledge that it is Black History Month. And this week, we're going to talk about Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone was an African-American inventor. On April 26, 1892, she obtained a United States patent number, blah, 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 for her improvements for the ironing board, girl. You go, girl. Boone's ironing board was designed to improve the quality of ironing the sleeves and bodies of women's garments. Shout out to Miss Boone. You go, girl. I don't even use iron.
Go. Yeah, exactly. I just cannot iron good. I don't know. It's just
me either. I can't iron for nothing. And I know.
Up here, it was like you better put it in the dryer.
Right.
Yeah.
So the next topic I want to talk about before we get into the show is the little boy that has been missing since January 23rd by the name of Cody Bigsby. I hope I'm saying his name right. I feel some type of way. Where's the Black Lives Matter movement? I feel like the only time Black Lives Matter wants to be involved when it comes to Black lives is when it's a racist issue. This little boy does not have an Amber Alert. And the reason why he doesn't have an Amber Alert is because he wasn't kidnapped. How do they know that? That's my question. I just had to get that off my chest. I just feel some type of way.
I just believe that there's some evidence or something that they're just not talking about right now. The nature of this whole thing. But Black Lives Matter has been out. No comment on that because I don't want to go back to all these news clippings with Black Lives Matter being at all these conferences because it has not went well. But they have been at the news conferences and like I said, no comment because it was no they were given no answer based on the level of knowledge of knowing Virginia law. So I just but they have been out. It's just
where it's not on the news like it was on the news when it was
and all the conferences and all that. They've been out there, but it's just sometimes you have to familiarize yourself with Virginia law before you go out and start making statements because then when you're corrected, it just doesn't come off well to the other people in the public.
Where they at? So it's what I'm trying to say is this have not been talked about like it was when someone got shot by the opposite race. And you already know how I feel about the movement. So we definitely be going in depth with that. And if I can get in contact with the person, I would love to have them on the show because I have some questions, but you know, I ain't trying to start no drama. So Tika, our question last week was, how do you know when the relationship or the friendship is over? So I know you got all the answers, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, I had a person that said, you know it's over when it is when you could feel it, when you know that the person no longer has a purpose in your life and you're trying to make a purpose. Some people, this person said it's like you have a puzzle and you're trying to fit the person in the puzzle any way you can just to keep the person around, and it is just not going to work. They said whether it is a friendship or a relationship, some people just serve no purpose as they once did, or they just do not have a place in your future. So they said, that's just what it is. Somebody said that when the communication starts dying down and when you guys just continue to exist in each other's presence, and it's not really, you're just kind of living in the moment. So they said that's kind of how you know when it's that you should just go ahead and go your separate ways. I had one woman who said that when the other person, whether it's a friendship or relationship, is a needy person, and she said she describes that as always needing something, but when you need something, they never have anything to give, but no matter what it is. And so she said that's how it's over, because at first they may have been able to support you in ways, or they may have been able to handle your needs and try to help you out with your needs just like you're helping them. And once it becomes one-sided, she said that relationship is over, whether it is a friendship or if you're in some sort of relationship.
I want to talk about my situation. Excuse me. This is how I knew the friendship was over between me and this person. I've known this person since I was 26 years old. And they are, I want to say they are a lot older than I am. And when I met this young lady, she was living with her. She's always been in the same position. And I ended up ending my friendship with her recently. Not really ending it, but just falling back. Because I'm always there for you. Always there for you. It was like, when I invite people out with me, you good. You ain't got to pay for nothing. I got you. If I invite you out, you good. I'm going to take care of you. Well, every time she invited me somewhere, or every time she had a party, it required me to come out of my pocket. And not with a little bit of money. It just always required me to come out of my pocket. And I just felt like the only time that I heard from her is when she needed something. And she was in a situation, and I've tried to put her in a better situation. And at the end of the day, I think she's comfortable in the situation she's in. I think she's comfortable with being needy. So with the person saying, when someone starts to get needy, it starts to get overwhelming. You start to be like, you've been like this ever since I known you, and I keep giving you the benefit of the doubt that stuff is going to change and you're still doing the same thing. I don't want to associate myself with somebody like that who's not trying to better themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it. So I told her, I said, I love you to death, but right now we can't be friends right now because you're not doing anything to better yourself, and now you're making your problem my problem. Now I'm stressed out and depressed and don't know what the hell I'm stressed out for.
Right.
So when it comes to friendships, yeah, like I got a few people I'm about to cut off. My thing is, I'm not gonna say her name, but one of my very close friends, you know who she is. I'm not gonna say her name because of what I'm about to say. She apologized to me. I said, have you listened to the podcast? And she was like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. She said, no, I haven't listened to it yet. And I was like, well, you need to, okay, that's fine. I understand that everybody's busy. And what she said next put a smile on my face because she admitted something that a lot of people don't. And what she said was, and when I told her that, I understand you're busy, she was like, no, I'm not going to even use me being busy as an excuse. If I have time to be on social media, I got time to listen to your podcast. And I strongly apologize. And when she said that to me, it just made me feel so good. It didn't even matter that she didn't listen to it. What mattered to me is that she womaned up and was like, I didn't. And when I told her, I understand everybody's busy, she was like, I'm not using that as an excuse. I got time to be on social media. I can use that time to listen to the podcast. So.
And yeah, I can get that. I've had some people in my life, because what are we getting ready to be on, Maria G? Week 8?
This one is 7. Tomorrow is 7.
I'm talking about like after this one.
It's gonna be 8.
Next week is gonna be week 8.
Yeah,
I've had people that said, "What podcast?"
Like y'all ain't see all that automatic posting I got going on, because I get on people's nerves, girl. I be posting every 30 minutes. Shoot.
Or when I have talked about it, and then they said, oh yeah, I know you have been talking about it, so it's already started. Wow. And so to me, that just goes to show that you have not been that sounds like a horrible, first of all, excuse.
Right.
Because I have been talking about even asking them questions about the topic. Because, right, we have a topic every week.
Right, every week.
And I'm like, oh, this week's topic is, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's a good topic. And then when I question you about, what did you think about it? You'll be like, oh, yeah, so y'all start? I mean, come on.
Right. Come on. And I just give her mad respect for and apologizing, because she didn't have to. I wasn't expecting any apology, but for her to actually say, no, there's no excuse. I had time to be on social media. I could have listened to your podcast, made me feel good, actually. And
yes, and I totally understand that and like that. But what I really do not like is, oh, so y'all started? And we've been talking about the topics. Well, I'm sorry. I have been talking about the topics every week to people, if they're just to get more responses, to see
right. And
what is the general feeling or the vibe of.
As we, people just retarded. Now, back to what you were saying about people not listening, but I don't know.
Like not, pretending as if they have missed some information when we have been talking about it. Because, next week, we would be, this week we're closing out week 7. Next week is week 8. Then the season, we'll be closing in week 10. We've been at this for a while.
Right.
And, time has gone by. And so you can't say, so y'all started. So what do you think I've been talking to you about, and you've actually been responding to me? That's just that's just not good enough for me. And right. So, but then, on the back end, you may want me to do something for you, or did you see what I'm doing now? I posted it and all the kind of things like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, should I respond in the same way that they've done to me, or am I that person, or am I still going to be like, oh, that, and that is a good question. Am I still going to be that supportive person? Some people be like, well, don't change yourself based on what somebody else is doing. But sometimes that's hard.
It's very hard, especially when you're asking me to like your page and listen to your stuff or read your stuff or come to your store, do something. And all I ask you to do is listen to a podcast. You listen to the radio. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that listen to talk radio. So you can just put it on while you're driving down the street.
Right.
But like you said, people always want you to do something for them, don't want to do anything for you. And then I know when you listen to the podcast, and I ask certain people if they listen to it, because if you would have listened to the podcast, you would have called me and be like, oh, thank you. Because I send a lot of shout outs out. That's how I know if somebody listens to it or not.
Right.
Oh, you didn't listen to it. Girl, I listened. No, you didn't. Because if you did, you would have called me about the shout out. So I really appreciate that person for being completely honest with me and just telling me straight up, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't listen to it. There's no excuse for it. I got time to be on social media. We supposed to be tight. I'm gonna start listening to it. So. Yeah,
and I just truly understand that, because that would be, my response as well. There is no excuse. And there is no excuse, but don't try to say, oh, y'all, like it's a surprise. Oh, you started? Yeah, come on.
The nerve.
Oh, do not do that.
Well, like Tika said, we are on episode 7, and we only have 3 more episodes left before the season is over. But keep listening, because we will have bonus episodes on the website where you can listen to in between season 1 and season 2. So keep in mind, you will have something to listen to those couple of weeks before we go into season 2. So you will have something to talk about, listen to, whatever. Friendship. How do I know when the relationship is over? I'm going to use myself again as an example. You stop doing things that you usually do. For example, I went from making breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snack every day to not doing it at all. Not doing it at all. Like, went from doing this, from catering to him, for him going for himself. Like, this ain't working, because I'm the type of person, I don't argue. The reason why I don't argue, because my goal is to hurt your feelings. So I am going to say the most disrespectful thing to you to make you want to fuck me up. Seriously. That's why I don't argue, because I hit below the belt. I want you to be in that corner ready to slit your wrist. What's the use of arguing if I'm not going to hurt you? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't argue. So instead of arguing with him, I just get quiet and just let it build up and build up. And then he asked me, we need to talk. And that was my cue to say, to say everything that I needed to say. I am a tit for tat person. Treat me the way you want to be treated. If you don't want me to kill your cat, you better not kick my dog. Period. So I don't mind holding it down, but give me a reason to hold you down, because I need you to have my back like I got yours. So when things didn't feel the same, and I felt like I was being neglected, and felt like I was being used, and felt like unappreciated, I started drawing back from the relationship. Still haven't said anything, because I let my actions talk for me. We don't have nothing to talk about. You see my actions, you see what I'm doing. I just pulled back from the relationship. So now we went from talking every day, holding each other, cuddling, to me sleeping in a whole different room. So that's how I knew the relationship was over, because the butterflies and the oohs and the ahs and went away. It wasn't the same, because at the time he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. So So whatever love or attraction I have for him faded away. Because at this time, the bad outweighed the good.
Yes. Yes. And so what do you think about the person when they had responded and said they've been in situations where it's like a puzzle and they're trying to fit the piece, like I guess the piece is the person that's in their life, and they do not fit anymore. But they're just trying to force it until they finally just let go, altogether. So what do you think about that? Do you think that's
I'm guilty.
I'm
guilty. Have been in that situation. I can't say too much because there's no talk. But
yes,
I have been in that situation, and I'm trying to say this without. You try to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're not this person. They're going to get better. He's going to get better. Things are going to be better. Things are going to get better. And then you start noticing a pattern that this person is comfortable. They have got to the point where they just don't do no more.
Mm-hmm.
They just, because you have enabled them and you have showed them that you can do this whether they're there or not. So they have got comfortable to the point where they don't feel like they have to do anything anymore, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does make a lot of sense. And when the person had described it like that, I was like, oh wow, they said they felt like they were really, really forcing it, and
Mm-hmm.
it took them time to really let that piece go that didn't fit. They're like, I don't know where this piece came from, but it just does not fit in my life anymore, and I have to move on.
It's hard to move on. It's easier said than done, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm gonna use me and you as an example. You and I are in a relationship. We've known each other for 15 years. We've been dating for 5 years. We've been married for 5 years, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's 15 years of history. A lot of people, myself included, I already know what I need to know, but I don't have time to get to know nobody else. I don't, because it's stressful. And I'm like, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to go through this mess with you, I should have just stayed with Tika. So It's hard to move on because the comparisons start. I've been with you for 15 years and now the relationship is over. So now I have to get to know this other person. That's a lot of work. I'd rather be single. And I'm being honest. Like, I'm too old for that. I don't want to. I'm good. It's a lot. So now you have to take that time to get to know somebody else. And then you got to hope this person that's in front of you is who they are and not a fraud at the end of the day. So it's hard.
What do you always say to me? You always say somebody is the representative, or what do you say the person is before they reveal themselves?
I forgot. I
think you be like, oh yeah, you're talking to the representative.
Yeah, a lot of people are, what's the word I'm looking for? Frauds. A lot of people are frauds.
Yeah.
They chameleons. They let you see what they can blend in. They can be anybody you want them to be, but I don't want you to be who I want you to be. I want you to be yourself. And if you can't be yourself around me, and we're supposed to be one, even though we're a couple, we're supposed to be one, then we don't need to be together. So at that point, yes, the relationship is over because I can no longer trust you because you're a fraud. I don't even know who you are.
Right.
Like, you're a fraud. So friendship, relationships, the signs are there. And a lot of us have a fear of being lonely. That's what it is. A lot of us have a fear of being lonely, so we want to hold on to stuff that's not good for us. We want to continue to deal with these people, that person, that friend, that guy or that female, because we don't want to be alone. Well, I've been with him or her for 5 years and I don't feel like getting to know nobody else. So I'm just going to sit here and suffer. And it's really not healthy at all, but I get it because I've been there. I've been to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't feel like trying to get nobody else. I know this person. I know what to expect out of this person. So I'm just going to stick around. And then as the relationship goes on, you realize, you know what? I'm better off by myself than to be in this situation with this person, knowing that I'm not happy and the relationship is not healthy either. So.
Yes, I think that's true. In what you said, you know, being by yourself turns out to be more peace than having to worry about anybody else. But so what do you think about the person that said the communication is gone? I mean, I've been in situations.
I agree with that.
I've been in situations like that where, you know, I felt like I was bothering someone, you know, like somebody in a friendship or what, you know, and it, you know, like they would give either a dry response or no response at all. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, so it comes off and it's like, oh, well, sorry to bother you, even though it may have not been every day that I was like contacting to say, how are you? You know, are you doing okay? Or, you know, I haven't heard from you. What, you know, versus when you used to hear from the person every day.
Right.
So, and when you come off as dry, and you know, granted, you may be going through something, but I would expect you to tell me that you're going through something at the time and don't feel like talking to something. But when you're kind of just dry and, you know, not contacting, not responding, I'm like, okay, am I bothering this person?
Right.
And I kind of start, and then I start backtracking, and then you know, it ends at that point.
Communication is a big key. I've been there also. I have been there. Like you said, we talk every day, all day, and do things together. Then it goes from, I'm calling and you're not answering the phone, and then when you do answer, it's like, what's up? You know, hello? Did I dial the right number? You don't answer the phone. What's up? You know what I'm saying? You don't talk to me like that. Did I do something to you? So I get it. Communication is a big thing in a relationship. Once you stop communicating in a relationship, it does become a problem in your relationship. It does, because if you're not talking, if I'm not talking to you and you're not talking to me, I don't know what's going on, you don't know what's going on, then that's when the actions, and then it does get again, I've been in this situation. It gets to the point where they don't even have to say anything to, just because they're in the same room with you, it irritates you. It's like everything. It's like, do you have to breathe on every breath? Like, oh my God, why? And it gets like that. And you know the relationship was over when everything they do irritates you. Like, why you got them red socks on? You know, like petty stuff like that. I have been in that situation. I really have, where sorry, not sorry, because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but I don't think it's fair to string anybody along anyway, either. So I've been there. I get it, listeners. I get it. You know when it's over, but some of us, like myself, we try to hold on. And I'm going to tell you what I did in my situation. I suggested that he take a vacation. And, you know, we need this time apart, and he's been gone for 3 weeks. I had a lot of time to miss him. I do miss him. Can't wait till he get home. So when it gets like that, especially if you know you love this person or you in love with this person, in my opinion, to rekindle this relationship, to get it back to where you want it to be, you need to have a conversation. You need to find out why y'all are not talking like y'all used to. Why aren't we communicating? Like, what is going on? You need to find out. Now, if this is what you want, the communication to end, so you can use that as a reason to leave the relationship, then, you know what I'm saying? Then just say that, this ain't working. Don't string the person along. But communication is a big key in the relationships. And if you don't have that communication, if I can't talk to you and we sleep together, who am I supposed to talk to?
Right.
If I can't talk to you. So, and then you have times where you're in a relationship and y'all smother each other because COVID made it happen. Most people work from home. And even though you work from home, you need to be apart from each other. I'm trying to tell y'all, it will destroy your relationship. Both of y'all cannot be working from home.
No.
Because you're going to, you get tired of looking at them. You're here every day. I need you to go outside, go play in traffic or something. Shoot.
Yeah, I agree. All that too much time, too much in each other's face is kind of, feeling like I'm being smothered.
Yes, I need time to miss you. I can't miss you because you're here just like I'm here. You work from home, I work from home. I see you every day, you see me every day. You don't want to go. It will put a toll on your relationship. So when it comes to knowing when the relationship is over, whether it's a relationship or a friendship, please know that I am not a counselor. I don't hold any license, but in my opinion, I feel like you need to talk about it before you end it.
Yeah, and I don't like those situations, especially with females. Females can be tricky when, you are around the person a lot and, there's no real reason that you guys, you may be wondering yourself why you guys stopped talking or hanging out together, but you may go to a public place and they'll say, oh, hey, Tika, there goes so-and-so, how come y'all ain't hanging anymore? And then, your response is, well, I don't know. We just, it should be some sort of answer beyond that. Like, I don't know. It's just been, sometimes it's been situations like that, like, oh, I don't know, girl. Why we, and you really don't know, because, it's not like it was an argument or anything. Yeah, it just like, ended, like fade to black.
And it can be jealousy too. It can be that undercover jealousy that you don't even know about. I don't even know why you're not talking to me. Last time we talked, we were cool. We supposed to be tight, but I'm calling you and you're not answering the phone, but you're throwing subliminal messages up on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like I know you're talking about me. So yeah. Communication, you have to talk about it. Before you end it, talk about it. And I don't feel like anybody should end like, fuck you, it's over, walk out the door. Don't do that, because I have learned the last thing you say in an argument can change the whole situation.
Yes.
So I'm not going to hang up on you if you call me and you decide you want to vent. I'm not going to slam the door in your face, because the last thing you can say can change that whole situation. So again, relationships and friendships, you need to talk about it. If you feel some type of way about your friendship, or you feel like your friend acting shady, acting funny every time he or she is around somebody else, talk about it. If you feel like your man or your woman out of pocket, talk about it before ending the relationship, because 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. It's the communication.